following is a presentation of Radio Alabama Sports. This broadcast is copyrighted by Radio Alabama for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of the game without Radio Alabama's consent is strictly prohibited.
Sylacauga Aggies play right here. Welcome to the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network and the Star Physical Therapy pregame show, sponsored in part by Alta Point, Coosa Valley Medical Center, Allen Oil Company, Star Physical Therapy, Marble City Pharmacy, Sleeping Giant Heating and Cooling, Wright Tire and Service, Toyota of Sylacauga, Central Alabama Community College, State Farm agent Albia Steers, La Costa Mexican Restaurant, Edward Jones agent Jesse Gum, Alabama District 33 State Representative Ben Robbins, Donahue Physical Therapy, Sylacauga Chamber of Commerce, Coosa Valley Recycling, Another Level Cards, Amya, Van Sant Hardware, Sycamore Federal Credit Union, Wharf Casual Seafood, Fair to Midland Gifts and Boutiques, Broadway Spinal Care, First Bank of Alabama, Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga, Sarah Honda of Sylacauga, and Tony Sarah Ford, CAC Adult Learning, Snap Fitness, Alabama Digestive Care Center, Coosa Valley MRI, Bucks Island, and Sylacauga Pediatrics.
Welcome to Legion Stadium as the Aggies will close out the year here for all sports with the 2026 Spring Jamborees. The Aggies getting set to host the Calera Eagles. This is the Star Physical Therapy kickoff show. Star Physical Therapy, where you don't have to be a star to be treated like one. Jeremy Law, Brent Ashley up here in the box. Matt Crocker down on the sidelines as normal. As we look to close out the 2025-26 school year, Brent Ashley and get the first look here of what will be the 2026 Aggies that will take the field in the fall with that first game against the hopeful Bulldogs. Brent Ashley, it's been a long time no see. You took a hiatus on me during the basketball and baseball softball season doing PA for softball, but great to be with you on this Friday afternoon, Brent, as we get a chance to see the Aggies.
That is true here. It's great to be back. And, I had to take a small break during basketball season. I hated to. I got a new job promotion that put a lot of new stress on me, a lot of new, stuff that I had to learn and get worked out. And I hate that I missed that particular season because, our boys really done a great job all the way through the season, all the way up to that championship game. Couldn't have been more proud of that season that they had, walking through the area like they did, playing the type of basketball all year long that they played. And then once we did step into the spring sports, that's where I moved over to the softball side, which I did last year, and I enjoyed that. Had a lot of good times this year on the field. One of the good things about softball was that this year the JV actually played Comer for the first time in over 10 years. It was great to see Comer come over and play our JV, and you see that Comer and Sylacauga rivalry kind of kick back up. So hopefully that we could get to the point where we could get the varsity back on the field and have that varsity rivalry going with the softball side as far as Comer and Sylacauga playing again. But you never know. But, hey, we're back here tonight together and looking forward to this game to close everything out, like you said, getting ready for graduation next week. But, hey, tonight, so far, for what we've seen on the field, we're going to look pretty good for next year.
Matt Crocker, how about that subtle flex from Brent Ashley? He couldn't work with us all year because he got a promotion. I think that comes with a big raise, Matt Crocker.
I think so. I think we're going to meet up at Harvey's afterwards and get some of those ribeyes.
Talking to Matt Crocker down on the field. Great weather today, Matt, for a spring game. Give us our area field and weather conditions as we get set for tonight's kickoff.
Guys, I'm going to tell y'all what, you could not ask for a more pleasant evening to play football. Standing down here in the shade, I would say it's a brisk 75. Perfect weather for a big guy down here. Perfect weather for football. Beautiful skies. It's just going to be a great night for the Aggies.
Down on the sideline all night tonight. A couple of names to watch for the Aggies. Brent, you don't come into spring without any storylines for the Aggies. No C.J. Franklin this year, graduated. No Trey Wright, no Corbin Patterson. Tons of playmakers for the Aggies have moved on. A big guy on the defensive line, DeMarquion O'Neal, graduating this year. So who takes their place? Right now it looks like Jasper Jacks at quarterback for the Aggies. He will get the first team reps in this spring game. Has worked really hard in the offseason. You have Juice Riley, obviously, coming back for the Aggies at wide receiver alongside Jeremiah Crawford. Tons of names across the offensive line, household names. Eric Nichols, Landon Crocker, Zach Sanders, Jaquan Nunn, Quan Weaver, J-Mike, JaMichael Hardy, Zachorian Chambliss at running back. This is an experienced Aggie offense that I think this year is really looking to see things come together.
Yeah, I think so too. I think with the guys that we have on the line, what I'm looking for the most, Jeremy, is where the guys really communicate with one another. I think that was one of the small keys that we were missing last year as far as who communicated with who on what particular blocking scheme and how we're going to do what. That's what I'm going to kind of look for tonight, is to see where that communication is coming from, who's going to be that leader. And right now, after just watching them warm up a little bit and going through the motions and taking care of things, I really think that's going to be Landon Crocker, the center. I think he's going to anchor everything down, but he's going to let everybody know exactly what they need to do on those blocking schemes.
Looking over at the defensive side of the ball, we mentioned you lose a Trey Wright, a Corbin Patterson, but you bring back a D.K. Dunklin, a Sarai McMillan, a Trey Cook. Defensive line probably a little bit deeper this year. Your edge rushers, Zachorian Chambliss, Silent Tuck, some guys to go get the quarterback. Some other key pieces will have to step in and come alongside those guys. But maybe the most impressive from what I've seen this spring is Jacoby Garrett. We talk about edge rushers. We talk about guys with that quick twitch off the edge. Jacoby Garrett had a great season last year, led the team in sacks. Probably expect the same thing this year from Kobe.
I think so, too. I think when you talk about Jacoby Garrett, you can't help but think about how quick he is off the line. As soon as the ball moves, he's exploding, and that's what you need out of that corner rusher. You need somebody that can get there, disturb the backfield in a quick manner. But then also, as you talked about, Xylon Tuck, I want to look and see exactly what he can do in that linebacker position, because him and Todd Thompson are going to anchor that middle, and you're going to see that those two guys are going to be key roles. And when Jacoby is coming off the edge, it's just going to make things great.
Yeah, and Matt Crocker just voiced up. You got Ja'Kai Toney. Don't forget about Tyler Tarpley. I mean, he's a guy that's going to play. His dad told me last year there were, I think, 4 games where if it was other than special teams, he never came off the field. So right. Tyler Tarpley, a guy who will play offense, defense, and potentially special teams for the Aggies. Now, no special teams tonight are live as part of the spring game, so you will not have any live special teams. You'll still have field goals. You'll still have punts. You'll still have kickoffs and extra points, but none of those will be against live competition, which means you won't see – well, you will see Anderson Adair in the Aggie special teams, who's garnered a lot of attention here in the offseason for his abilities, but he will not be under pressure and will not face a rush when he kicks. We also did notice the Calera starting quarterback, who we believe to be KG Watley, a sophomore, looked like he might have been wearing a non-contact jersey as well. So keep an eye on that. So we're not sure if we're hitting quarterbacks or not, but Jasper Jacks was wearing the same color jersey as the rest of the Aggies. So we're going to learn a few things with you tonight as we go. This isn't going to be an official broadcast, if you will. We're going to have a little fun with Matt Crocker down on the sideline and help usher in what's going to be a long fall camp, or a hot summer, then a long fall camp before the Aggies strap up against the Hopewell Bulldogs to start the season in week 0 next year. The Aggies were wearing white in warm-ups. That is due to Calera's new white jerseys not coming in yet. That happens a lot for spring games. So the Eagles will be in navy blue, trimmed in that Carolina Tar Heel blue, white helmets, Sylacauga Cardinal helmets, white pants, white jerseys here tonight. A good crowd on hand, Brent, actually, for a spring game. It was just $5 to get in, and people taking advantage of that. A lot of excitement around this season, and there should be. They're going to be a much improved football team, but then they, on top of that, they inherit one of the toughest regions in what will be Class 4A next year. The Aggies technically moving down a classification, but not really, because there is no Class 7A for 2026, 27, 27, 28.
Yeah, and that is true. That's where, we're going to be saying that, yes, we're 4A. A lot of people are going to stop that, are just really joining in and not really understanding. But with all the restructuring and everything that they did, the classifications, they pulled 7A away. They pulled, and then what it done was just kind of just dropped everybody. And to me, it did put everybody back in very competitive situations. But as you just mentioned, we got into an area that it's going to be another dogfight. It's going to be one that there's no doubt in my mind we have every potential and every really way of winning our area if they just play ball and do what they're capable of doing. The guys, like I said, we've got experience on the lines this year. I want to see that communication tonight that'll bleed over into next year, and then hopefully we'll be able to run the offense like we need to.
I'm very optimistic, Brent, actually.
I am. I really am.
I know there's a lot of teams in our region who are expecting to take a couple losses when they may not have had to in the last couple of years. Your Clay Central, Leeds, Alexandria. We're going to take a break. We'll have a prayer, national anthem, and then we'll have tonight's kickoff. This has been the Star Physical Therapy Kickoff Show. We'll be back with kickoff next.
At Allen Brew Markets, we're proud to call this community home. Every day, we bring you great service, quality products, and the convenience you deserve. From morning coffee to late-night fill-ups, we're always here when you need us. Allen Brew Markets, your hometown convenience store, your hometown pride. And when it comes to serving our neighbors, we're all in with Allen.
You're all in with Allen, oh yeah, Allen Brew Markets.
At Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, you're more than a customer, you're a member owner. We provide personalized service, local lending decisions, and competitive rates to help you buy a home, finance a vehicle, or reach your financial goals. We're proud to serve Central Alabama and invest in the communities we call home. Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, where you belong. Visit us today at CoosaPinesFCU.org or stop by one of our branches located in Chelsea, Childersburg, Pell City, Vincent, and Sylacauga. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
If you've got a heart for helping folks and want a job where what you do really matters, AltaPoint Health is hiring right here in the community. They've got positions open from Clay County to Sylacauga, including direct support professionals and therapists, and some jobs even let you work from home. No experience? No problem. AltaPoint offers on-the-job training, great benefits, and real room to grow. Caring is their calling. Text AltaJobs to 97211 and find your fit today.
The Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network is fueled by Allen Oil Company. Fuel for your car, fuel for your body. You're all in with Allen.
Getting set for tonight's coin toss as your Aggie captains, Landon Crocker, Juice Riley, DK Dunklin, and Todd Thompson. Matt Crocker will bring you the coin toss live from midfield, as we'll have the second season upcoming on the brand new turf here at Legion Stadium. The Marble City written in script at the 50-yard line. Your captains for Calera, Jalen Moore, Kevin Corbin, I already gave you Jalen Moore, Amari Wallace, and then number 10, Jeremiah Pouncey, a senior linebacker, as the Aggies walking towards midfield to meet up with their foes tonight, the Calera Eagles, as we will now send it down to Matt Crocker for tonight's coin toss.
And number 5, Juice Riley.
All right, captains, I'm Mr. Murphy. This is Mr. Morris. We're going to be the officials in the middle of the game tonight. Expect y'all to help each other up. You knock somebody down, pick them up. But I expect you to play clean. Expect y'all to play a little better than everybody else since you are captains tonight. Okay? Calera, you're the visiting team. You got a coin here that says tails. That's heads. That says heads. That says tails. I want you to call it before I flip it. What you gonna call it?
Tails.
Tails. He called tails. If I drop it, we're gonna flip it again. It is heads. You have won the toss. You want to receive.
All right, boys. Aggies have won the toss, elected to receive to start our spring game this year.
All right, the Aggies will get the football first. Brent, let's pause and let's play the game intro so we can get tonight started.
From Radio Alabama Sports, Sylacauga football is on the air. This is the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network. Sylacauga football is presented by Alta Point Health. Caring is our calling. Online at altapoint.org. Allen Oil Company of Sylacauga. 8 locations serving Central Alabama since 1966. Fuel for your body, fuel for your car. You're all in with Allen. Coosa Valley Medical Center. Quality care close to home. Online at cvhealth.net. Now, here's the voice of the Aggies, Jeremy Law.
And here come the Aggies out of the south end zone of Legion Stadium, wearing white tonight with Cardinal helmets. Couple backflips out of the tunnel as well. Hey, can Matt Crocker, can you redo those for us? Any chance you can give us some of those gymnast level moves down there?
Hey, you just wait. You just wait. Still on this first possession.
Trying to get a better connection with Matt down there. Hey, look, it's like, hey, all these people get in the stands sometimes kill my man's Wi-Fi down there. And Brent, important to note, this wraps up our ninth year together on the Aggie Sports Network. Next year will be the 10th year of this dynamic duo on the Aggie Sports Network as Matt Crocker. Next year will be year 4.
4 for Matt.
For Matt with us on the Aggie Sports Network. Sylacauga will indeed get the football first. The Aggie offense will take the field, and you will not have kickoff, so we'll just take it at the 30-yard line. So extra points and punts and field goals, I believe, will still be live. No kickoffs tonight at Legion Stadium. Sylacauga will move left to right. That is north to south from our vantage point of the press box at Legion Stadium. Waiting to get things started, Coach Smelly will enter his 4th season as the head coach of the Aggies.
You know, that to me is kind of shocking. It doesn't seem like Smelly's been here 4 years, as we head into this. It's just
took over in 2023, 24, 25, and then 26 as the quarterback is Jasper Jacks. Zylan Tuck is the running back wearing number 15. Crawford and Riley split out to the left. Tyler Tarpley in motion gets set behind Todd Thompson, who also is your tight end for the Aggies this year. So Thompson going both ways. Here we go. Jasper set, football right hash. Will turn and give it off to Zylan Tuck. Tries to catch the edge, does Zylan. Keeps the legs moving. Picks up 2.5, 3 yards to the 33. Good little gain on first down. Sets up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, very good job. Very good guy by the offensive line. That held up, moved their guys as they needed to. It just looked as if the tight end, Todd Thompson, just didn't pick up the outside linebacker as he come across. Todd went down, picked up the first defensive back, and then the safety was, the linebacker was able to get in and make the play.
Tyler wearing the number 13, gets set. Jasper again, handoff, Tuck, taking it up the middle. He'll pick up 3 more to the 36, so a 3rd and 4 upcoming, and Matt texts up. He says it's his 6th year going into next year, which, wow. With us, really? You had Max Jackson, Ashton Fowler, and we've only had Matt for, 4 full seasons, and next year will be his 5 full seasons. Next year, his 6th year?
Season.
Yeah, I had the 2 Carter years. Carter's first year and 2nd year, and then Smelly's going to his 4th year.
Down here. Okay, time flies when you're having fun. Jasper rolling out, looking, throwing. Tarpley open in the flat. Makes the man miss. He'll fight for the sticks. Not sure he got there. We needed the 40, and he might be a half-yard shy. And they're going to give it to him. Looks like they call it a first down, and maybe got the nose of the football there. We'll take it as the Aggies move the chains. Good job off the left side of that offensive line, Brent, to keep the pressure from getting to Jasper. It's a good pickup, actually, by Zylan Tuck in the backfield, and the Aggies will get up to the line of scrimmage on the 1st and 10.
Yeah, you just took it out where I was just going to say Zylan done a great job of picking up that side rush and keeping him off Jasper.
We'll turn and give it to Zylan again, looking for a hole. Tuck will pick up 5 to the 45. Good block off the right side as Zylan Tuck with 3 carries and 11 yards here on the Aggies' first possession. And in comes Jadavian Mosley, the sophomore running back.
Mosley is one that's small in stature, but the young man he can cut quick. He can make good moves and make guys miss. So let's see what he gives the Aggies here on 2nd and 5.
Jack's looking over to the sideline. Coach Smelly calls the plays. The offensive coordinator on top of us, Coach Johnny Safford, on top of the press box. Plays signaled in by assistant coach Lane Strickland. Jasper on a straight trot back, looking, throwing, and just overshoots Jeremiah Crawford down near the 25-yard line.
It's a nice little play there. Good job by Jeremiah Crawford. Jeremiah just he basically stunted inside, turned himself to the outside, and was down the line. And as he got there, I thought he was good, but the safety came from the other side of the field, made a very good job as far as getting over and getting to Jeremiah. But the ball was just over his fingertips from Jasper Jacks, but great throw. Good to see that from the Aggies.
So now a 3rd and 5 for the Aggie offense. Their second 3rd down. They converted a 3rd and 4 a couple plays ago. Jasper sprinting out to his right, looking, hopping, throwing, and nearly intercepted as it was knocked away by Todd Thompson with Jacks throwing back across his body. It'll be 4th and 5.
Yeah, the Calera just got really good pressure back there. Jasper, when he rolled out, he had 2 guys on him. Jasper made one miss, and then the other one was in his face. Really tough on that one. But then as he made the throw, but good job by Todd Thompson as far as knocking it away and keeping Calera from getting that interception.
So Anderson Adair will punt. Coleman Gardner, a rising freshman, found out yesterday he's going to be the long snapper for the Aggies. So he's getting his feet wet here at the varsity level. Grandmother Tammy Gardner owned Buttons and Bows in town for pretty much my entire lifetime. Here we go. So here's the punt. Anderson gets a good leg into this one. It will hit at the 5 and roll into the end zone, which is exactly where it was going to, I believe, end up anyways, as they're still start at the 30.
Yeah, with the rules on the spring game, they basically just go in and they started, even though you'll see the special teams come out. You'll see that, some of the kicks take place. But they'll always start them out on the 30s. Both teams during spring will start here on the 30. Like I said, no pressure, no nothing, but they'll let Anderson kind of go through his motions as far as just kicking away. And as I said, this young man is just as far as being able to kick the ball as effortlessly as he does, but yet puts 55, 60 yards on it every time. And Watley takes the ball first right over the middle, right into the hands of Amari Wallace. Amari catches the ball right behind the linebackers and then gets a first down with a gain of 11 on the play. And here goes Calera quick to the line. Once again, Watley back, turns, throws, got a man open. Overthrows Jalen Moore. About 2 yards on that play, but Watley just kind of turned quick, threw it out. We had Jalen Moore out there with good coverage, but Jalen had a couple of steps on Davian Scott, and now brings up 2nd and 10.
From the 41-yard line, a 2nd and 10. Here's the quarterback taking the snap. Quick throw out to the left. Couple Aggies there. Good block on the end, and they'll spring this one down the left sideline. Jace Welch being outrun, and that's a touchdown for Xavier Boone.
Yeah, great block on the outside. Looked like that was, I want to say that was B.J. Welch for Calera that made that block on the outside that allowed Xavier to be able to get out to the outside and make that run.
And you learn a lot in spring. It's the Calera team, Brent. If you look at them in 6A last year, think they went 2-8, but my gosh, if you looked at the schedule they played, you might understand why. They were in a very tough region last year as they're going for 2, and they'll score. Ian Williamson. Calera on the board first, 8-0.
The good thing on that play there was just the fact that Sylacauga had everybody in the right spot. Everybody, nobody blew a coverage, nobody blew a block. Everything was perfect. Everything was just where they needed it. Calera got one key block that closed off the outside and just allowed Xavier to get to the line, and then down the line he went.
So the Aggies will start at the 30. Again, moving left to right. 9:09 remaining in the first quarter. So we're gonna see the first half will be ones on ones, or that's varsity. In the second half, the third quarter will be JV, and then the final quarter will be all ninth graders. Is what we were told pregame. Jax turns, gives it off the tuck, and we go backwards to the 37. Excuse me, back to the 27. So a 2nd and 12, the Aggies behind the sticks. Juice Riley split out to the left. They're going to shade him high with a safety and then come up on the other side and press Jeremiah. Tuck taking the give up the middle. Get some good yardage, 7. Gets it back to a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5. And they pulled off Zach Sanders' helmet, which means he has to come out. And here comes Jaquan Nunn to block on 3rd down. That's not what you want. You want Zach Sanders on the field as much as possible, especially in these bigger situations. See what the Aggies do here. Down 8-0 in the first quarter. Juice Riley split out to the right. See how they play this, does Calera. Showing blitz, 5 men on the line of scrimmage. Should be 4 for the Eagles. Jasper turning, throwing. Juice Riley making the catch in space. Here's Juice, 50, 40, 35, 30, 15, 10, 5. Aggies on the board.
Great job. That right there was just a key factor of how Juice Riley can make people miss. There was 2 defenders on Juice on that play. The safety stepped up. Also, he had his coverage out there with that defensive back. And once he got into that defensive back, he shook him off to the left, made one quick move, and then right down the line he went. And after that, that track speed came out. A part of that relay team that set the school record as far as time this year. That ended up just showed out there. Just found the 2nd gear and off to the races he was. Great job, Juice Riley.
And you might be wondering why the Aggies are kicking, because they need Coleman Gardner to get as many reps as possible long snapping. So we're really not just trying to keep up on the scoreboard with Calera today. The Aggies have a lot to work on. They have some key injuries and guys out today, including Zachorian Chambliss and Trey Cook, 2 starters. Is that extra point up and good. And let's go down to Matt Crocker. Matt, a big answer for the Aggies. They give up a quick play touchdown and come back and grab a big play touchdown of their own.
Oh, my goodness. And that's what I preached all last season. One of the things that makes Juice Riley so good is his ability to get open. He might go into his designed route, cut out of the route, but guys, did you see the move he just put on those 2 defenders to make himself wide open? Once he made that cut, there's nobody going to catch him.
Let's see if the Aggie defense can settle in. So we will have kickoffs now, which is weird. Started at the 30, no kickoff, no warm-up for your kicker. Now Anderson Adair will come kick off. An 8-7 ball game, but you really won't hear us call out the score much here at Legion Stadium.
Being spring, this is just, as you said, this is where you're getting reps, you're getting the feel of what the team has learned in the spring. You know, who's got to step up, who's going to do what.
Every team's going to start at the 30. I think every possession, unless a turnover, most likely be starting at the 30-yard line. Anderson Adair got a good leg into that one, kicked it inside of the 5. It was a 2nd and 10, big play touchdown out here on the left to, I think it's Xavier Boone who took that one all the way. You got the quarterback, KG Watley. Put the ball in the air 3 times. Watley standing in under pressure from Garrett, throwing, incomplete. Boy, Jacoby Garrett off the edge. Put some pressure on the quarterback. You had, what was that, Sariah McMillan and number 21, Jadavian Mosley in coverage.
McMillan is one of those guys. He's playing. He's kind of playing in a linebacker spot, but yet he's also dropping himself back into a defensive back position in order, like when he sees 7 out there, he'll move out, and then he'll move into that. Yep, be a false start. Should be a false start. But McMillan is doing a really good job of noticing that on a cover 2, we don't have anybody that covers that extra receiver out to the left, and that's that Xavier Boone that caught that one a while ago, and with a good sealed sideline block was able to get it down into the end zone. But McMillan is seeing that, and now he's stepping out of his outside linebacker position and moving over to pick up.
Thought they were calling that on us. It's offsides on the offense. Couple other names on defense. Blaze Fatula. You have J3, Jadarius Jackson. Cool name, J3. Wearing the number 8, though, so don't let that confuse you. Playing a little safety for the Aggies. And a guy I've made friends with, Davin Scott, transferred in from Winona. That's your left cornerback right now, wearing the number 12. They'll give it off on a speed sweep left. This will be Calera down the right sideline. Boone again will take it all the way.
The only issue I've seen on the play there for our defense is one of the things that this past season that we did, that we talked about it a few times as the season went along. It as far as that we're taking ourselves and we're closing ourselves down into the backfield, but down into the backfield instead of staying straight across the line, straight into our lanes or straight into our zone. And that time Xavier was just able to get to the outside. We didn't have any outside containment. Everybody kind of broke to the middle to bit on that, really the play fake to the middle of the field. And when he hit the outside, there was nobody there to contain him.
They're going to hand it off, and they'll get in for 2. Good little design for the Eagles, but listen, when you're in position to make a tackle, you got to make it. Blaze Fatula had a chance to bring down Boone near the line of scrimmage and didn't get there. So you got to – things that we're working on, when the plays are there, you got to make them. All right, 16-7, Calera. A lot of possessions early in this game. We played 4.5 minutes. We've already had 3 touchdowns and 4 possessions. So the Aggies back out there after a touchdown pitch and catch from Jasper Jacks from Juice Riley. Their last time out, Juice will split out wide to the right, Crawford to the left, Tarpley in motion, Todd Thompson at right tight end. From the pistol, Tuck taking it, linebacker coming downhill. He took a big shot. And you're going to get a flag because I believe the player who lost his helmet did not stop immediately. And that's Aiden Hudson. So I think that's going to be a penalty on the Eagles.
Should be once his helmet came off.
They're going to call a face mask here. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, it's just unsportsmanlike on the Aggies. Who do they get that on? Well, they pointed the wrong way. It's unsportsmanlike. Calera. Okay, yep. And it's not an unsportsmanlike play. When you lose your helmet, you have to stop playing. So we'll go the other direction.
Yeah, if you're engaged, you can continue on. But he was not engaged when he lost his helmet, and then he engaged into the play. That becomes the unsportsmanlike. You just can't do that. That's just really it's for that young man's own safety. A good catch by the Whitecap as far as noticing that, getting the yellow flag out.
They're going to press Juice on the near side. Little safety help over the top. Jacks giving it off to Zylan. Just didn't get the blocks. Picked up one. Calera deep on the defensive line. We've already seen them roll a few bodies as Aiden Hudson will come back in after picking up that 15-yard penalty. Big Edward Samuels will come out.
Yeah, Jeremiah Pouncey's done a really good job as far as getting off Quan Weaver. He kind of moved Quan out of the way, rolled himself into the backfield, and was able to make the play with only a gain of 1.
Play clock down to 7. The Aggies just get it off. Looking for Juice Riley. No, looking the other way. Deep down the left sideline. Incomplete. Well, they pretty much tackled Juice all the way down the sideline, and that was option number 1. And Coach Melly's right. He's talking to the line judge. They bear hugged Juice for 15 yards.
I think that's one of the things that we're definitely going to see a lot this year is just that right there, is to where Juice is going to get held. He's going to get, they're going to do everything they can if they watch any kind of tape from Sylacauga to keep Juice Riley from getting in the open.
Tarpley in motion. Snap was low. It turned off the play, but Tarpley able to make the catch, picks up a first down, took a big hit, fumbled it, and Calera's going to jump on top of it.
You got to wrap the ball up. You got to wrap it up. You know you're going to get hit. That's all right. That's one young man right there that that struck him at heart.
Took a
big
shot.
Took a big
hit. He
took
2 big hits on the play. Bounced off of one and then gave up the football. So Calera's going to have it at the 37-yard line midway through the first quarter. Wiley, the quarterback, throws it out to the right. And the Aggies there to gang tackle and make the play. They missed a block in the back. They also missed a hold. That was Jacoby Garrett in there on that tackle.
Yep, also joined in there by Jackson and the young man we just talked about and made up for what happened on the offensive side, Mr. Tyler Tarpley. Tarpley got in there and made a great hit also, so the Aggies swarmed to the football extremely well that time.
The Aggies going to call a timeout on defense. Didn't like our look. Let's take one too, Brent. 16-7 Calera here midway through the first quarter.
Feeling slowed down by pain or injury? At Star Physical Therapy in Sylacauga, we help you get back to the life you love faster. From sports injuries to chronic back or joint pain, our skilled, compassionate team creates personalized treatment plans just for you. Don't stay on the sidelines. Regain strength, mobility, and confidence with therapeutic exercises, manual therapy, and proven techniques. Call 256-249-4701 or visit starphysicaltherapy.net and start your journey to better health today.
Central to you, central to your success. Central Alabama Community College, the official video live streaming sponsor of the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network. Online at cacc.edu.
I want to thank Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success on a 2nd and 10. Watley dropping back, looking, throwing, deep down the middle, wide open for a big play to the 20. There's Owen Richardson with the catch. Ran right by the defense.
Yeah, that's one of the issues we had last year with our defensive backs is just allowing the receiver to get by them. And instead of them staying in between them and the end zone, they let them get by them, and that's where just Jadavion Mosley –
that was Ian Williamson who converted on a 2-point play earlier. Getting to a 1st and goal at the 7.
Blaze for the Aggies came over, did a great job from that linebacker position of making a stop.
And that was Blaze Fatula. As they put Richardson in motion, they'll throw it out to him, and they overshot him. DK Dunklin giving chase, and that's still a play, Brent, where you'd like to see, you know, DK never had a chance to intercept that ball, and if that's caught, the angle DK took was going to give up a touchdown. It's just some things that the Aggies got to clean up.
Yeah, I think it's the angle that they need to clean up a little bit. But then also, too, they've got to really, DK's got to know as soon as that guy starts going across, he's got to go with him quicker. I think there he was just probably 3 yards behind him, and that's what caused that bad angle.
Watley standing in, throwing. It's going to be through the hands of Tyler Tarpley. The interception was there through the hands of Tarpley, and a touchdown for Jalen Moore.
Man, that was right through Tyler's hands. And, like I said, he's beating himself up for dropping that football earlier, but he is definitely that young man. I mean, he plays with so much heart that I know in his mind right now, he's like, what's going on? What's happening? He's telling his brain, look, make my hands catch something or hold on to it. But that was unreal. Just right through his hands, right into the arms of the Calera Eagle into the end zone.
That was knocked away. Blaze Fatula making the play on the 2-point play. The big plays has been the story for the Aggie defense. Another big play sets them up for a touchdown. Score 22-7 here in the first quarter. Brent will stay here. The Aggie offense will get on the field pretty quickly. And those are the things that, you look, Calera got in the end zone, but, man, they threw it right into our chest, and plays that you hope you make when the season comes along in August.
And, I think we will. I think that's just plays that we'll clean up. We'll clean up over the summer. We'll clean up as we get into the first of the fall. And before the first game hits, you'll see that stuff like that, we'll start capitalizing on. We'll start, making them pay for mistakes like that.
Well, Tyler Tarpley is going to make plenty of plays.
Oh, definitely.
So you don't have to worry about that.
No worries at all.
We'll give it off underneath. This is Chambliss. And they'll wrap him up, and then he got speared in the back. See, that was maybe Sarai McMillan on the carry? It was.
Yeah.
And you see Decorian Pope, the big, tall wide receiver, and an upcoming 9th grader. Number 28 coming near side, Juice Riley on the sideline. Jasper going to keep it himself, follows his blocks, gets stood up around the 40. He's going to be close to a first down, and they'll give it to him. Good run for Jasper, and that's something that we know Jasper Jacks can do. As you'll see, Zachorian Chambliss now for the first time today into the lineup has been battling an ankle injury since the last Friday. Got rolled up in a drill, and he's tried to battle back this week. He's told by Coach Smelly not to be surprised if you see him on offense, but he's primarily going to play defense for the Aggies at edge rusher here in the spring game. 22-7 as Chambliss takes the give, picks up a tough 3 yards.
Number 1, Zachorian Chambliss.
The Aggies have a good stable of running backs, as we talked about, Brent. You got Chambliss You got Ackles. You have, I mean, heck, we just saw Sarai McMillan take a carry. Zylan tons of backs for the Aggies. Jadavian Mosley's. Here we go. 2nd and 7 after a gain of 3. Jacks in the pistol. Zakorian still the running back on the field. Play clock at 15 seconds, and then the Aggies jumped.
Dead ball. False start against the offense.
I think that's where one of those where the offensive line picks their hand up off the ground. You know, a lot of times Sylacauga won't go to the ground with their hands. That way it allows them to be able to stand up and turn and look back for the play being called in. And I believe somebody that time actually had their hand on the ground and then picked it up. Once you do that, that's a false start.
Man, I didn't see it, though. Todd Thompson, we're the YouTube delay. Todd Thompson's the only Aggie with her hand in the dirt, and he kept it down. On 2nd and 12, here's Zakorian. Picks up about 4 or 5. 3rd and 8.
Zakorian Chambliss at right end.
That's one of those things there to where without the penalty on that play, you would have been at 3rd and 2. And it would have been a lot better situation. So that's one of the things Sylacauga, too, kind of plagued them a little bit last year, or I say last fall, was they just get in good field position, and then they'd do something that would back them up, and then they'd have a good play that would have put them in another good spot, but yet they're at a 3rd and long.
Jack's rolling out, looking, tucking it. He'll take off running. He has the near side. Jasper at the 40. Dragged down at the 34-yard line, and that is what Jasper Jacks can do with his legs that a lot of people don't know about yet.
That's right. We always kind of refer to him. He's got a build. To me, when you look at him on the field, he's built kind of like Tim Tebow. He's real stumpy. He's real strong.
Coach Anthony Jackson.
He's probably going to come unglued on that remark. But that's the thing, though. This young man really, I mean, he's stout, he's strong, but he can run the football, and he's not afraid to hit somebody when he gets out in open field.
Here we go on a 1st and 10 at the 32. Zylan taking it right side, down the right sideline. 15, 10, 5, touchdown Aggies. Offensive line gave him the hole, and Zylan Tuck did the rest.
Two key blocks that I seen on that play. Very good was first and foremost was Juice Riley. Juice sealed the outside, made a great move in, but then also right behind him was Todd Thompson. Todd, both of those guys sealed off that outside edge and allowed that play to develop. Great job by the offensive line and really by the running backs and the tight ends as far as making that play happen for our Aggies.
Hats off. You're right. Juice Riley really sealed the edge down here, followed Todd Thompson through the hole. Anderson Adair will try the extra point. Gardner, the snapper. Jacks, the holder. Up and good. And you got to keep a drive alive sometimes, Brent. So many times when you turn it into 11-on-11 football with a mobile quarterback, you see it. The Aggies pick up a first down. They get up to the line of scrimmage, and a next play touchdown. As we will go down on the sideline to Matt Crocker. Matt, a couple of explosive plays for the Aggies, something that we've seen from the offense this spring.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you guys about the Tim Tebow-ish look that he gives us. And one other word I can use to describe Jasper Jacks, he is spunky and gritty too. If he just doesn't see it, he's not scared to use his feet, and he's not scared to take a hit.
The Aggies rolling Jasper out a lot, being able to see the field as a little bit of a shorter quarterback, helping him survey the landscape in front of him as Adair will kick it off from the 40. Booms it to the 1. And now a chance for this Aggie defense to come out and get a stop. They've given up a couple of big plays. They've lost contain on the back end, had a chance to get a stop, an interception in the end zone on their last possession. Let's see what they come out and do. I tell you, their quarterback is really throwing it well, though.
Yes, he is. Watley showing him as a 10th grader. But that young man, he's seeing the field. He's doing everything he needs to do. He's keeping his shoulders square. And once he's throwing off that back foot extremely well. But then his receivers are doing a good job as far as just finding that opening and getting there before Watley can get it to him.
They'll sweep it around the other side. Coming up, making a big hit was Davin Scott.
Number 7, Xavier
They lost a yard on the play, back to the 29.
Yeah, Scott, really good job there as far as getting into the backfield. And as I talked about a while ago, when they have an end around, when they have that same play a while ago, we crashed inside. We lost outside containment, but that time the Aggies did a really good job as far as staying in that zone, staying outside and not crashing in, and they were able to make that stop with a 2-yard loss.
You got to watch the play action off of that too, which is what happened to us earlier. You have Juice Riley in on the defense, gain of about 6 on the carry. The first third down of the game for Calera. That's going to be a 3rd and long, right at 6 yards from the 34.
It's good to see Jagger Thomas out there for the Aggies right now. Jagger looks like he's playing defensive end right now. He's coming off that end rush. He's having to take on a pretty big young man in Jaden Williams, number 66, doing a really good job.
Looking left, throwing. They set up the screen underneath. Juice Riley there to make a hit, but they did get the first down. Boy, we got lucky. We did not cover the slot receiver. Nobody lined up over him. There's a first down for the Eagles with 49 seconds to go in the first quarter.
I think that was just a misread by one of our safeties that once they rolled that third guy out, he had to come over.
There's DK coming near side. Juice Riley lined up on the other side. Looking, throwing, intercepted. Tarpley, no! Oh, would have been a pick 6, but it would have been an impressive interception as Tarpley had to leap, got the left paw on it, but couldn't bring it down.
Man, I'm telling you, Tyler just keeps playing that way. Just keep playing that way, big man, because everything is going to work out. It's going to happen. Wow.
What a play for, I thought they were going to get it over Tyler.
But what a leap, what a stretch. And I thought he had it, but then
Let's
just
get him something
right out of his
sticky
hand.
on that glove over there. Watley throwing over the middle, caught for a first down. With 18 seconds left, the Eagles at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, just a really nice design play by the offensive coordinator for the Eagles. Just rolled 3 guys out, and Sylacauga once again didn't pick up that third guy, so they were able to run all 3 of them down just straight downfield, and that left one guy open in the middle. Watley found him, perfect throw, but the Aggies did a really good job of keeping him out of the end zone, stopping him at the 26.
That'll end the first quarter, 22-14, Eagles on top. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network.
Sycamore Federal Credit Union, your dreams matter. Whether it's buying a new car, purchasing land, or starting a business, Sycamore offers a variety of loan options to help you get there. With competitive rates, personalized service, and the convenience of mobile banking, Sycamore is committed to supporting your financial journey. Visit them at 18070 Alabama Highway 21 in Talladega or apply online at sycamorefcu.com. Sycamore Federal Credit Union. Let us cover your financial needs.
I'm Chris Kane, and for our family here at Toyota of Sylacauga, it's about more than cars. It's about people. You'll find my wife, my kids, even my dog here some days, because this is where we've built something special. When you buy from us, you're not just getting a vehicle, you're becoming part of the family. Toyota of Sylacauga, worth the drive, and we'll prove it. Online at toyotaofsylacauga.com.
Number 1 in customer satisfaction among insurance providers 5 years in a row. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Albia Steers is there. The official insurance agent of the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network.
1st and 10 for the Eagles as maybe they were offsides. A little false start. We'll back them up to start the second quarter. Brent, your takeaways from the first. We saw the Aggies get in the end zone twice and Calera 3 for 3 on offense.
Well, the improvement we had with, was definitely sealing off the outside like we needed to do, keep blocks, things, and also seeing some great movement in the quarterback, Jackson, just as far as just making sure that he makes something happen when nothing's there. But then defensively, we still need to make sure that we contain the receivers, keep them in front of us and not let them get by.
Watley standing in, steps away from pressure, nearly intercepted again. DK Dunklin, excuse me, that wasn't DK there. That for the Aggies was Davin Scott, who made a big tackle earlier, had a chance at it.
Davin done a really good job. He was backpedaling, and he knew he had done got himself out of position. But what a great recovery. He was able to get back, but then he was close enough to where he just jumped. And when he jumped, he was just able to knock the ball away, but almost had the interception. But great job by Scott in order to make that happen and not allow the Eagles to get in the end zone.
Watley has hit us in the hands 3 times in the first 12 minutes and 7 seconds. Watley under pressure, looking right, and he got tapped, and that'll be a sack. Watley is wearing a non-contact jersey. He was able to get away from the defender, but as soon as you touch him, he is down, and that'll back them up way back to the 40.
And also, if that would have been regular game rules, everything going, that would have been intentional grounding. The ball never made it past the line of scrimmage. No receivers there, nobody there, and he was not out of the pocket, and he just threw it away.
All right, let's keep him in front here on a 3rd and 20. 3rd and 24. Watley under pressure again, looking over the middle, overshot him, incomplete. But it wide open was the wide receiver. And I know we brought the house.
Yeah, we brought the house, but Tyler Tarpley just allowed that receiver to run right by him, and Tyler just stayed right in his zone. I don't know if he was looking for somebody to come out of the backfield and just didn't go with the receiver. But I think that's something they'll see on tape, and they'll correct that. You know,
they're going to go for this. Why not? You're in a spring game.
Oh, you're in a spring game. Why not?
4th and forever. Maybe they won't go. They need the, what was that, the 16 for a first down. They're backed up to the 40-yard line. So it's 4th and 24, and the Eagles will call a timeout. Well, we just called a break because we didn't cover Owen Richardson, who had a big catch earlier in the game, and now Calera will call a timeout and get themselves ready for a 4th and 24. We do want to thank everybody for following the Aggie Sports Network all season long, the official broadcast partner of Sylacauga Athletics. I think we nearly hit 100 broadcasts this year. Had the time of our lives covering the boys soccer team this spring, who had tons of kids, and Coach Faircloth, the All-State 5A Coach of the Year, and tons of players on the All 5A team, and they made a big run with a great group of seniors, Casey Malone, Anderson Shaw, and obviously a lot of others. And then the girls went deep, went a couple rounds in the playoffs too, and then obviously being able to follow Sylacauga men's basketball team again back to the state championship game with Coach Joel Jones and tons of guys that I know we're going to miss. Big group of seniors, CJ, Eric, Corbin, Tristan. I know I'm leaving Trey Wright, tons of guys off that, but man, what a absolutely, Josh Spear, don't want to leave Josh off. Coach get mad at me, it's his grandson, but man, what a fun time we had. So here on a 4th and 24, Calera coming out of the huddle. Juice Riley, one of the safeties, DK, one of the other ones. They're throwing, looking, caught, but short of the first down. Well, that's what you got to do. Don't let them get to the sticks, and that was a heck of a design by the Calera coaching staff, as they were in a diamond set on the left, and we just really didn't pick up the guy in the back, which was Xavier Boone, who's already got a touchdown in this game, and now the Aggies will have it on offense.
I think when there's multiples on that side, I think this is one of the things that I know Sylacauga will work on this in the offseason.
Well, Brent, they're begging for a first down. I mean, they literally were down at just past the 20. Not even close.
It wasn't close. They were 2 or 3 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, he rolled to the 16, but did not get the first down. I mean, thought that was pretty obvious just watching here on YouTube. Even when, he was at the 18-yard line. So the Aggie offense back out. Oh, yeah. And here we go. Offense back out there after a touchdown drive that was sparked by a big 3rd down conversion using the legs of Jasper Jacks. And then a big run for Zylan Tuck. The receiver split out to the left. Crawford in the slot. Juice Riley split out wide. We'll Quick throw out to Juice. Goes backwards, does Riley. Gets a block from Crawford down the left sideline. Juice, 50, 45, and slung out of bounds as Riley. Boy, Juice Riley had to run backwards, make that catch, and still sprung it into Eagle territory.
Yeah, really good job. This young man, as we'll talk about him a lot next year. We'll talk about how he does, but I want him to get used to being double-teamed. I want him to get used to being held. So I think all during the fall, they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to put him in those situations to where he's got to make things happen. And on that play there, he had to go back. He had to go back at least 3 to 4 yards to catch the football, which was over his head. But once he caught it, he was able to turn back upfield, and he made good things happen. But great job by Juice Riley.
DeCorian Pope takes Riley's spot. Crawford with a big block there to spring Juice down the sideline. Tuck, the running back, in the pistol. We'll turn and we'll give it to Zylan, who will follow Tarpley. Picks up a big hole. Here's Tuck at the 20-yard line inside of the Toyota of Sylacauga red zone. Boy, this Aggie offensive line starting to eat early, following Nichols, following Sanders for a big gain.
Very good job by the offensive line. Those guys did exactly what they needed to do, held Calera up, moved them, opened the hole up, and there we go. Off to the races we go. Good job by Richardson, though, for the Eagles as far as getting over, getting out of his defensive back position and getting over, making the play before the Aggies could get in to the end zone. But first down all the way down to the 17.
Jax will turn and give it off to Tuck again, who slipped. Tuck at the 10, spinning ahead to the 5. He'll have a first and goal.
Good job there. Tuck seen something that a lot of our running backs over the last few years hadn't really been able to do. Once they made the cut to the outside, they wanted to continue out. But Tuck seen the hole to the inside. He made a cut to the right, back to the inside. He followed his blockers and was able to get a first and goal for our Aggies down to the 6.
Tuck again hit at the 5, leaning to the 4.
Tuck with the carry at right guard. Back over the play. Number 92, Kendrick Robinson. He picked up 1 yard, second and goal.
23 seconds on the play clock. The Aggies have a second and goal. Officially no gain on the carry for Tuck as Chambliss is back in at running back. Here's the battle of wills inside of the 5. We will turn and give it off to Tarpley on an end around. Here's Tick into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies.
That makes that young man feel really good there. All he had to do is take the ball, get it into the end zone. A little end around. Great job by Tyler Tarpley and the Aggies.
Well, we'll go for 2 now because we'll look to tie it up.
Yeah, they'll definitely go for 2 here. Let's see what they draw up.
A 22-20 ball game. The Aggies were down by 2 touchdowns, and they've gone for 2. We've kicked extra points working on special teams. As Jasper will lead this 2-point play. Tyler in motion again. And did the Aggies move or did we call timeout? The Aggies did call a timeout. We'll take 1, 2. 22-20, 2-point play when we come back.
Don't let the pain slow you down. Hi, it's Ben Donahue at Donahue Physical Therapy. Our patients get one-on-one attention from our dedicated team about getting you back to your normal way of life after an injury. Whether you're recovering from surgery or managing chronic pain, Donahue Physical Therapy will create a plan that works for you. Get back to the action faster at Donahue Physical Therapy in downtown Sylacauga.
Cold and flu season is here, but Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga has you covered. From cough and cold medicine to fever relief, vitamins, and immune support, they have everything you need to feel better fast. Skip the lines and use their quick and convenient drive-through window to get in and out with ease. Friendly service, trusted care, and hometown convenience all in one place. Transfer your prescription to Marble City Pharmacy today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Back for the 2-point play now. Tyler Tarpley in the Wild Aggie. He'll take it himself. Tyler leaning in, and he is in. The Aggies have tied it up at 22. We told you we don't necessarily care about the score in this game. We did want to see the Aggies be competitive, and they've battled back to tie it up 22-22.
Exactly. Great job by the Aggies so far. The offense getting key blocks. But one thing that I really liked there was the fact that Coach put the ball in the hands of Tyler Tarpley. You know, and to me, the spring game is one of those games where, as we talked about, Tyler had a great run, got hit hard twice, and then dropped the football. Then on the next play, we were down toward the end zone. Calera was toward the end zone. And once they did, they threw the ball, and it went right through Tyler's hands. And then shortly after that, he had another mishap. And then all of a sudden, Coach was like, look, I still believe in you. We're still going to get you. And there it was. He key blocks and then able to get the ball, run it in for the touchdown, and then turned around and on that 2-point play, took it in and took it all by himself. So that gives Tyler that confidence to being able to learn how to forget everything that's happened and focus on what's ahead of him.
The defense can come out and play with a little life here. As Dr. Eller, we get I do appreciate the weekly visit for home games that we get from Dr. Eller's grandchildren. One of those who just graduated kindergarten this week. And I heard, and he was also featured in the schedule release video. He wants a headset. We have to wait till commercial break.
Future broadcasters right here, future broadcasters.
Two fun kids to be around. Dr. Eller doing a great job with him. Watley rolling out. Catch made. We'll run him out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
That's where definitely you're going to see Jacarius Jackson over the fall. I think the coaches that get with him, there's 2 times or 3 times now that I've seen him kind of try to wrap up top. He's got to learn on most of these guys. You've got to get down. You've got to get down as far as from the waist down to the legs in order to get these big running backs down.
Watley on the handoff, one of the few handoffs we've seen, and then you got a flag came out. You'll have a hold right here at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that hold's going to be against the Eagles. Should be anyway. I think that's going to be Danny Kaga. And that's going to back Calera up here a little bit. Back them up 10 from the spot. So should put them around first and about 13.
So this will back them up. No, oh, boy, give me that microphone.
First and about 18.
Oh, my goodness. Things that happened during the spring game. Davino, get your brother. Watley threw an interception. This plays Fatula the other way. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Blaze. Well, they caught him from behind, but it was after he crossed the goal line. Pick 6. We knew we'd get one. Blaze Fatula to the house.
Blaze done a great job as far as just he stayed in his zone, didn't get really pulled out of the play, read the quarterback. Watley was under great pressure, but then as soon as he threw the ball, Blaze was right there. He threw it right to him and to him. Blaze down the field, nobody around him. Touchdown Aggies, great job.
Blaze Fatula, listen, KG Watley's had some good throws in this game. He's also had some bad ones, and that wasn't even the worst one. It was a good pick by Fatula as Anderson Adair gives the Aggies a 7-point lead, 29-22. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network.
Choosing a pediatrician is one of the biggest decisions a parent makes. At Sylacauga and Summit Pediatrics, families can feel confident knowing their children are in capable, compassionate hands. Their doctors and staff are experienced, caring, and committed to making every visit easier for busy families. They provide the guidance, support, and resources parents need to make the best decisions about their child's health. Call today and see why so many local families choose Sylacauga and Summit Pediatrics.
Turn to the experts you can trust at Sleeping Giant Heating and Cooling. Voted the best HVAC company in the Coosa Valley 5 years in a row. Sleeping Giant Heating and Cooling, the official HVAC company of the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network.
There we go. It was the Aggies with a 29-22 lead after a pick 6 from Blaze Fatula. Anderson really wants to get one of these in the air in the end zone, and he will. That one would have landed in the end zone, and that is technically a touchback, and we know Anderson Adair can do that. Well, Sage and Davino, how does Dr. Eller and Daryl do it?
This was one of the nights I really wish we'd have had
the
booth cam going to where you guys could just see what we went through over the last 3 or 4 minutes.
That was fun.
This was one of those where that was a lot of fun. That really was.
Sage just finished kindergarten. As they'll hand it off, Zachorian Chambliss making the tackle with some help from Ja'Kai Toney. I tell you, man, Ja'Kai Toney, what is he going to be a sophomore next year, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, jeez, he's got a big frame. Isaiah Frazier in there on the DL. Todd Thompson coming off the edge, too. Across the formation is Jadarius Jackson. Watley pumping, throwing, incomplete. Good breakup by Juice Riley.
Yeah, very good job. I'm glad that play was designed to come across the middle to Pouncey, because if it wasn't, then Calera had a guy wide open on the far side of the field that Watley didn't see, which was good for the Aggies. But that's one of the things that they'll see that. They'll work on that. And as far as making sure we cover these guys, stride for stride as they go down the field.
Jordan Brooks, the near side corner. The Aggies with some twos in the game. Watley standing in, looking again, catch made underneath. They'll have a first down around the 45. Oh, this spread attack they're running with the pocket passer. He's got a lot of options.
Yeah, he does, and that's where if the receiver delays, that's one of those that's very hard to defend, because you're giving him a cushion of about 7 or 8 yards, and if he delays any and then cuts to the middle, you've got to really be able to get to him, and on that play there, just great design, and he was able to make the play.
Watley throwing deep, incomplete, and dropped. Well, we do know that the Aggies are going to have to work on not letting guys get behind them in this one. Just a miscommunication. We had 2 guys go with the outside receiver who cut across the middle, and it left a slot man wide open, and Juice Riley somehow came over from the other side of the field to try to get there.
Yeah, I think that's where Jacoby Garrett will have to learn on that one. If his receiver cuts to the inside, just allow Tarpley to go with him and him take that slot and go out with him.
Pressure on the quarterback, looking deep downfield, incomplete. Jadavian Mosley in coverage on the far side.
Yep, good job by Mosley. Mosley did exactly what he needed to then, just stayed stride for stride, didn't let him get behind, was playing man-to-man.
What I don't like there, Brent, is the Aggies are rushing the quarterback, but they know they can't hit him, so you kind of pull up right there before you get him, and that allows KG Watley to kind of step into some throws you normally wouldn't step into, because the Aggies are pulling up knowing they're not allowed to hit the quarterback today. Now they'll set up a screen, and it is set up well. Good block by one of the offensive linemen downfield on Fatula, and it ends up being a first down for Xavier Boone. Again, another catch for him.
Yeah, that's Rylan Ward. Great block by Rylan Ward, but I think, too, that he's a little bit woozy. He stood up, and he's not quite where he needs to be. I think one of his buddies might need to pat him on the back, and tell him, hey, you need to be out this play. But it was a great block by that young man, though, the previous play.
Handed off to the back. Jagger Thomas trying to rip it out. They stand him up after a gain of 4. B.J. Welch, the running back.
Tackle on the play by number 44, Jagger Thomas. Number 47, Ja'Kai Thomas.
Was Ja'Kai on the tackle. Calera starting to march. The Aggies have put up 29 points in the first half.
Great way to start.
Juice Riley playing free safety. KG Welch looking, throwing again. Riley knocked it away, and then Boone caught it off the tip, and it has been one of those games for the Aggies.
And they were exactly where they needed to be. They done everything they needed to do, knocked the ball away, but then didn't get it away enough, and just right into his hands of Boone, and just Xavier just said, thank you for the gift.
What more can we do on defense today? Oh, my goodness. 29-22. Calera with the ball. First and goal at the 11, so they can get a first down. We do want to thank Alex Bauman for running camera. As the snap gets away, it's on the ground. KG Watley has to fall on it around the 20. That was almost disastrous for Calera and really good for the Aggies. I will apologize for a little bit of the shaky camera. I brought the wrong tripod, okay? And if you know anything about this, the tripod really makes the difference. As Alex has run camera for us hundreds of times. He's also producing the broadcast at the same time.
Right.
But I brought the wrong tripod with me today. It's kind of one I use for static shots like baseball, and that is my mistake. So Alex is trying to battle through one of the boss's mistakes as they're looking deep at the end zone, man, wide open, and we're lucky that the ball was fluttered out of bounds.
Yeah, one thing I am noticing, though, is I'm starting to like the communication, because as Jordan Brooks comes off the field from the back, he's being talked to out there by D.K. Dunklin. And those two, you can kind of see Dunklin's like, look, that was my guy over there. You've got to get over here and get this guy. So I love to see that communication this early for them to be able to understand who they're supposed to be picking up and where those safeties are supposed to be going. But now Juice Riley, as far as back, he's playing over the top.
See what we do. He'll come over and cover the slot. Watley on the handoff, and, well, you know, you put in Zach Sanders on the defensive line, and he mauls the guy over there as well. As Zach has gotten a couple looks, he's got a big camp list this summer, as well as a few other Aggies. As he just put a guy on his butt there and then made the tackles. They'll go for it here on a 4th down from the 17. They need the 1-yard line for a first down. 22 seconds on the play clock, not a factor here. As Calera went on a hard count, and I think they may end up calling a timeout. They'll get the signal back into Watley. He'll get the offense set on a 4th and 16 from the 17, as now they will burn their second Eagle timeout. Let's stay here, Brent. Let's go down to Matt Crocker. Matt, the Aggies have fought their way back. We kind of, maybe Brent, here we go again type thing, where just the big play killing us. You got to make a team earn it. And then the Aggies offensively and defensively find their way back in this game.
Yeah, you definitely can't fault them for their resiliency, fighting their way back the way we have. Just those few key things is the mishaps on the deep ball, whose man is mine, that man's yours, those miscommunications. But like Brent said, even from down here, and I know you guys can see it up there, they are talking out here. They're communicating. And keep in mind, it's been the off season. They had a couple weeks, several meetings of practice, beating up on each other. This is the first team that they've seen in several months. Finally able to play against somebody else. So definitely giving them a different look. But our defense is still very promising.
Yeah, and you have a lot of new faces in the secondary. I mean, let's be honest about it. You bring back DK. Juice barely played any defense last year. Tyler Tarpley's moved up to play a lot of linebacker for us. We knew we'd take some bumps and bruises in the secondary, especially in the spring, against a team that really likes to sling it. Now on a 4th and 16 from the 17. Eagles with 4 receivers and a running back. Watley standing in, looking, firing over the middle, caught for a touchdown.
One of those things to where, you know, we talked about how the defense is doing well. The defense is doing everything they can. They are allowing one big play here and there. Once again, they allow the receiver to get behind them and be able to make the play. But, you know, one thing I like about what I'm seeing is the fact that I'm glad Calera has come out and put us in this situation where they're spreading the defense out. They're running these cross patterns. They're running this confusion. because all this is going to do is help our Aggies in the offseason. The reason I say that is they're just going to be able to go back and watch this tape and learn more and more about who's supposed to be picking up who on situations like that.
They'll give it off up the middle, and they didn't get in. They did not get in, at least off the first whistle. Now they didn't. The Aggies stuff them at the 1, and we hold on to the lead.
29-28.
Remember, as we go into the locker room, and that's big because you're only playing the varsity for one half.
Right.
So the Aggies will have the football with 4:31 to play with a chance to either ice the game, if you will, or potentially go up. What are we up by 1 right now? Could potentially go up by 8 or 9, depending on what you choose to do if you score a touchdown. So.
But, you know, I mean, I'm really liking this because it is going to give Sylacauga some good, solid, you know, film to be able to watch and really prepare themselves better. When you see a team like this that spreads you out, has all kind of crossing stuff, it only allows your defensive backs to learn more because they're able to break that tape down and understand how to communicate with one another better, and then not allow somebody to get behind them as the play develops.
Aggies have Sanders at looks like guard now as they'll hand it off to Eccles. He fumbled it, and who got on top of it? Looks like the Aggies did. Well, that could have been disastrous. Eccles, his first carry of the night, and here comes Todd Thompson, and Juice Riley will check in. That time we had none at left tackle. We had Sanders at guard. And we'll do it again. 2nd and 12 with 3:53 to go. Calera with only 1 timeout. We'll look, throw. Juice Riley making the catch, trying to make men miss. And this is going to be a little tougher. He had about 6 Eagles on top of him. Now the Aggies will face a 3rd and 8. That first down play is probably not the only thing that couldn't happen. You did not want to lose yards on first down. We lost 4. Tarpley in motion. Jax rolling out, looking deep, firing. Riley, big catch at the 30. Juice Riley should have been pass interference. Moves the sticks as Jax delivers a dart into Eagle territory.
And that's one thing that we've seen all this past year during the fall. And this football team is number one is they never gave up. You've seen them playing hard all the time, and that's just a prodigy of Juice Riley. And his guys just saying, hey, I'm not going to give up. I'm going after it. And he won the battle and caught the football. Great job by the Aggie offense.
Eccles still a running back. What a throw for Jax. Put everything in it. That ball went about 55 yards in the air for Jasper. We'll turn on delayed handoff, Eccles. As he's stuffed for a loss again. And here comes Jadavian Mosley. Clock counting. The Aggies okay with that right now with a 1-point lead in this half. 6A, or I guess next year 5A, Calera visiting the Marble City. The handoff to Mosley. They shot the gap. Mosley going backwards.
Our interior.
Calera is going to call a timeout, and that's smart because we have to throw the ball now on 3rd and 15. So now if you're the Aggies, what are you thinking? You're thinking you might run it and able to kill 40 seconds. And then, depending on where you are on the field, even if you, I guess, what the rules are, everybody's been starting possessions on the 30.
Yep.
And we'll see. Timeout, Eagles.
On that play, the only thing that I noticed was that Sylacauga did not pick up. All that was a delayed blitz by the safety. It was a safety blitz. He stood there just for a moment. He was only about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. And then once Zach's playing guard at this time, Zach Sanders, and him and Crocker both took one guy and took him out to the left. And when they did, that vacated basically the A-gap. And when it vacated the A-gap, that safety seen that and just shot that gap as quick as he could, and we didn't have anybody to pick him up. The H-back was already to the outside to try to seal of where the ball was coming, but it never developed after that. So that'll be one thing, too, that they'll work on a little bit to know who's got to pick that up as well.
So here's the Aggies. Are they going to run it? Drop back. They'll throw. They'll set up a screen underneath. Tyler Tarpley gets blocks, tick, hit from behind, keeps the legs going. First down, Aggies. First down, Aggies. What a play call. And Sylacauga moves the chains.
Great job. Once again, Tyler Tarpley's doing the job of where all he's got to do is just make the catch, turn around, and know that his guys are right there. Great call play by the offensive coordinator here at Sylacauga to where the screen on that play on a 3rd and long situation, that just it took me by surprise. But what great execution. Great job by all the linemen, being able just to make sure that Tyler catches it, and then up the field they went.
Tarpley in motion. Tyler Tarpley's made some big plays here in this half for the Aggies. Ackles taking the handoff. Here's Ackles at the 5, 4, 3, 2, and he's down at the 1. Desmond Ackles. Sylacauga with a chance. I mean, it just depends on what you're thinking if you're Coach Smelly, because technically you could take a knee and win the half that matters. Well, we're going to go for the score, which would put the ball back in Calera's hands where they could tie it up, potentially. We'll see. With 53 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think you run everything you can run off this clock here. You let the play clock go down. It's going to go dropped around somewhere around 31 seconds. Jasper keeping an eye on
We're going to run a quarterback sneak with Jackson. He's in. And the Aggies score the touchdown. The only reason we say that is because it's ones versus ones. It's your best varsity lineups in the first half against each other. As Sylacauga stormed back, and now they'll kick the extra point to go up by 8. So now you'll see Calera with no timeouts and 34 seconds starting at the 30-yard line. The problem is the Aggies haven't covered the pass very well in the first half. I mean, the offense has impressed me today. The defense has really been there to make plays. The extra point up and good. It's 36-28. Remember, we'll have Matt will interview Coach Smelly as we go into the locker room. Man, the Aggies, Brent, they were down 22-7.
And have done a great job as far as just fighting back.
They went on a 29-6 run.
The defense has come up big when they needed to come up big. The offense have made some very key blocks to get their playmakers in open field. Jasper Jacks has done a great job as far as just making things happen when there's stuff that wasn't there. And so right now, like I said, I really like the way the guys are looking. And as far as the defensive miscues and stuff, I like the way that they've got some good tape here to be able to take throughout the offseason and be able to study it and understand how to communicate with one another and know what receiver, who needs to pick up who on what cut. And you'll see a totally different defensive backs whenever we start this season off in 26.
Well, Calera can work here. They got 34 seconds and no timeouts. We got to get set. Watley standing in, looking, throwing, incomplete out in the flat. So that killed, what, 4 seconds, 5 seconds off the clock. There's 30.4 to go in the first half. Got a Facebook message, a family member of some Aggies watching from Henderson, Nevada. And that's really why we do what we do, Brent.
Wow.
It's not for the people in Sylacauga. There's tons of people in the house tonight. They're throwing out in the flat. You have to make a tackle, get them to the sideline. We do. That killed about 5 seconds off the clock, 25 seconds to play.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I have people that have told me that they've had relatives as far down as Jacksonville, Florida, all the way down toward Miami, Florida, that have tuned in and listened to the Aggies during the football season.
Watley looking, throwing, intercepted Riley. No, through his hands. Boy, we've had 5 chances for picks. We did take one to the house with Blaze Fatula. And that's the Aggies, maybe the best receiver we've seen in the last 6 or 7 years come through Sylacauga, and he's had 2 off of his hands here in the half.
Yeah, and I think, too, though, that's just one of those to where that one he tensed up. Yeah, he just tensed up to the point where his hands got, what I consider his hands got hard. He turned into lineman hands instead of just soft, relaxed, just let the ball cradle in too.
Here's the pressure off the end and incomplete. Boy, pressure on the quarterback. And then off the hands of the receiver, Jalen Moore. So it's 3rd and 10.
13.5 left.
36-28 your score. Aggies brought some pressure off the edge on that play. See the Smelly family to our right, Josie and the kids. Mr. Bart Smelly listening with the left AirPod in as the Aggies called a timeout. What exciting first half. Just reminding you, Matt will be with Coach Smelly as we go into the locker room. And then since we're only on live video, Brent and I will take a slight break, get ourselves ready for a quick halftime show. We'll bring you the second half here from the Allen Brew Market broadcast booth, which will be JV third quarter. And I think, if I'm being told, it'll be all 9th graders, so a valuable chance for all the rising 8th graders, which will be 9th graders next year, to get some playing time to showcase what they've learned this spring.
Yeah, and that's always a good thing, too. That allows, it allows our coaches to be able to see, on that lower level, and this is what I always say, when you're a younger athlete, you really have to pay attention to what's going on above you. You're around that practice all day. Yeah, sometimes you're a practice dummy for the first team, but yet you got to learn, you got to watch, and then being able to see them in the second half is going to tell everything.
Reverse, Zylan Tuck trying to chase it down. We're going to tackle him inbounds, and they don't have any timeouts, so it doesn't matter. That'll do it. We'll go to the locker room, and Sylacauga, at least from the varsity standpoint, takes a 36-28 win over the Calera Eagles. Matt Crocker will be standing by with Coach Chris Smelly in a second. I think they're going to talk about the rules in the second half with the referees. And, the Calera coach is probably going to say he wants another quarter of varsity. I don't know if Coach Smelly, they'll shake hands here, and then I think, and only a 10-minute halftime, so not much time for a break either, Brent. But we'll wait on Matt to get with Coach Smelly as he's breaking down what the second half's going to look like with the referees on the field. Alex getting us a good shot right there. (36-28). Yeah, Matt giving us confirmation. They're just talking about what the second half is going to look like. As the fireworks were on the field in the first half. What is that, 30 plus 20 plus 14? 64 points combined in the first 24 minutes between these two teams. As Coach Smelly standing by with Matt. Matt.
We'll walk and talk, Coach. Figure we start from midfield.
There we go.
So, got a lot of stuff going on in school this week with graduation coming up, a lot of exams, a lot of big-time tests. Your upcoming seniors are looking at ACTs, but your boys are resilient. Just give us some of your key takeaways from offensively and defensively that you saw.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'll say that's a really good football team over there. I mean, they look like, a team that you'd be battling in the playoffs, and they're big. I mean, we've gotten a lot bigger, and I feel like they had a little bit of a size advantage on us. So to play as well as we did offensively, very happy with it. Jasper played well. Juice made some good catches for us, some catch and runs. Our offensive line was blocking their tails off. So super pleased offensively. Defensively, we don't play that style of offense where it's spread and running and four guys out all the time, so we don't get to practice against it as much, and we honestly didn't really even game plan very much for clear. We just kind of practiced and got better at the stuff that we wanted to get better at. So we probably weren't quite prepared enough defensively for all that stuff that they were doing. But man, they got some good receivers and good little quarterback, and offensive line is really, really big, so it's tough to get pressure. Man, but overall, super happy, with the half overall, and now we got 2 more quarters and let everybody get in the game. Starting out with our JV here in the third quarter, and but very, very solid half across the board.
All right, sounds good. Go Aggies.
Thank you. Go Aggies.
That was Matt with Coach Chris Smelly as the Aggies take a 36-28, victory. Even though we said we weren't going to talk about the score much, they were in the first half. Listen, you always say you're here to prep and you're working on stuff. Both teams were, but both teams right there at the end, Brent, they wanted to win that varsity session here in spring. Let's step aside. We'll be back in about 3 minutes with an abbreviated Star Physical Therapy halftime show, and then we'll get you set for tonight's second half.
Tired of headaches and migraines ruining your day? At Broadway Spinal Care, we find the cause, not just cover the pain. Our gentle, drug-free care can bring lasting relief and help keep headaches and migraines from coming back. Let us help you feel like yourself again. Call Broadway Spinal Care today at 256-861-8546 to schedule your appointment and start feeling better naturally.
The Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network is fueled by Allen Oil Company. Fuel for your car, fuel for your body. You're all in with Allen.
Aggie Sports Network brought to you by Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union. Want to thank all of our sponsors that stuck with us this year. The Aggies had a great first half, 36-28 score. They'll clear the scoreboard here at Legion Stadium, get ready for JV and ninth grade. It looks like Calera's coaching staff already packed up the press box and the huddle sideline tech from the end zone. So they'll get ready for the JV and ninth graders to play a quarter each here in the second half. But what a half it was. Sylacauga was down 22-7, went on a 29-6 run, starting with right there at the beginning of the second quarter. He had a pick six. He had some big offensive plays, a long run for Jasper Jackson, then a long touchdown run for Zylan Tuck, and then a big throw to Juice Riley there at the end to set up another Aggie touchdown. Juice Riley, a long touchdown for the Aggies. It was that 70-yard touchdown catch for Juice Riley back in the first quarter for the first points of the year, or in the game, rather, the end of the year. Actually, maybe the last points of the year. But I think we saw a lot that we wanted to see from the offense. And I think Coach Melly told it to Matt, we need to be a little bit better at making adjustments right there on defense. But you come into these games, you have no idea. Calera has no idea what we're going to do offensively with a new quarterback, and the same for us against them. So excited to see the offense pick up the pace, and really excited. Listen, the defense closed it out, gave up one score late in the game.
And that's the thing. That's where, Coach Smelly said it best as he walked in with Matt. They practice on things, this spring in order to make them better, things that they needed to get better. They really didn't look at a Calera tape. They didn't care about what Calera was going to bring in. They wanted to make sure they got better. And they did get better in a bunch of areas that I noticed throughout that half. Offensive line was able to open up holes, move things like they need to. Defensive line was able to put pressure on the quarterback extremely well. So all of that stuff they were able to make better, but what it allowed, and I think I alluded to it a little bit, was the fact that I'm glad they got those looks. I'm glad they got that diamond look as far as the receivers, to be able to go back and study that now, to know whoever brings that to them, that they'll know who to pick up when it comes out of the backfield. Your defensive backs, who has who, what receiver when they cuts across, which linebacker is going to go with them, which defensive back. So all of this stuff here that they'll be able to work on. But what I seen was they worked on things to make them better, or what they needed to get better was that offensive line, the defensive line, and putting pressure on the opposing quarterback, which they did extremely well.
Yeah, I thought, for the limited reps we knew Zakorian was going to get, he ran the ball well, pressured the quarterback. Zylan Tuck was pretty much everything that we saw him be this spring. He'll be a sophomore next year. He was wearing the number 15 if you were watching. He showed us a lot. And look, him, Z, Ackles, they're going to be a tough trio to stop for a lot of teams this year. And my hat is off. I mean, I've already had 3 or 4 people walk by and say that is the best the Aggie offensive line has looked in 3 or 4 years. And man, they just really played well as a unit. Zach Sanders, listen, he had a great first half. I thought Jaquan Nunn played well when he got in. J. Mike, Eric played well. Landon played well. Quan did really well. And a lot of people don't know, like Quan, started as a 9th grader, needed to get his body in shape. Last year had that horrific finger injury that sat him out 5 or 6 games. And so really trying to get his feet back wet. And I thought he played very well also. And how about that defensive line? You just mentioned it, the pass rush, but the D-line for the Aggies also played tremendous.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, as I said, I really like the fact that they're learning how to shuck the offensive linemen off of them. We did hear in the spring some of the coaches was like, I just can't get them to understand that when they're double teamed, they've got to get off that double team quick. They've got to make that roll to the outside or the roll to the inside in order to get away from that double block. But tonight, we actually seen them executing that a couple of times to where they've done a great job as far as getting into the B gap and getting pressure on that quarterback, on Watley, and making him kind of rush the ball.
So you will see the JV. And, hey, hats off to KG Watley. I think he was battling an injury in this game, still came out and played in the spring game. The Aggies were able to get 1 sack on him, but a lot of QBs would have probably sat that one out. And what is it, my hat's off to him. He probably delivered some balls that should have been caught, put some on the money, probably should have threw a couple more interceptions as well, but an impressive arm for a sophomore and really not a big guy either.
No, not a really big guy at all, and very impressive, was able to move around. What I liked about Watley, though, is he is a good pocket passer. He stepped up plenty of times in that first half, just stepped up into the pocket, allowed the offensive line to protect him, and made good throws.
Here's a handoff to start this second half. And a big run for the Eagles. Jeremiah Robinson, excuse me, not Jeremiah Robinson, that is A.J. Motley on the carry. After an exciting first half, Brent, I might take a seat with you here in the press box. Speed sweep to Sturdivant. He'll break a couple tackles, has a first down at the 38. Still have J3 on the field for the Aggies, and a couple more guys you could consider a starter. Jace Welch in the game at safety. Here's a high snap over their heads, bouncing away and picked up back at the 50 by the Eagles. Well, and technically Zylan Tuck is a backup defensive end, so the Aggies do have a luxury of putting Zylan in the game here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That poor left tackle just couldn't move fast enough to even remotely get a hand on Zylan.
On a 2nd and 21, you also have Caleb Jackson at nose tackle. Another high snap, pulled down. Running back getting away from Jagger Thomas in a big collision around the 35.
A.J. Motley is not afraid to run over somebody. That was a very hard hit.
You got to make the tackles when you get the chance.
Yep.
Third and 6. Quick throw out left. Incomplete. Boy, J3 coming into the Sylacauga City school system this year. He got there in a hurry. I don't know if you can see it on camera where he started when that ball was thrown. He's a heck of an athlete. So is Blaze Fatula. I thought Davin Scott had a really solid first half for the Aggies at corner. Jakai Tony with his hand in the dirt. Thomas lining up at right edge. Here's a throw out in the flat. Catch made. The Aggies weren't there. They'll have a first down and more. And then you got a blindside block, and the flag didn't come out. Well, that should have came out because J3 just got drilled.
Yeah, that was a textbook blindside block there by Malik Hall.
But a spring game, too. I mean, jeez. It was funny. J3 with a helmet on. Walked up to him the first day of spring. I was like, "What's up, Blaze?" He said, "What?" And then we got to chatting a little bit. You know, Blaze is not a short kid by any means either. He's not as tall as J3, but that play was blown up by Jakai Tony. I don't think we're ever going to run out of Tonys.
I don't think so either.
I think there is one more. Boy, Jakai, he's got a frame on him. There's a lot of really good young players on this Aggie team, too.
When you see young men built like him, you know that in that linebacker position, you know, when he gets onto the varsity level, he'll be there.
That play is exactly how this game is going on defense for the Aggies. It was a high snap to the quarterback that was off target, ended up in the hands of the running back. We drill the running back, and he's able to toss it back to the QB. Look at this. That's just incredible. how this game is going on defense for them. We've had 7 or 8 chances for takeaways. We've only ended up with a 1. Just got to make sure we can get Alex to put the third quarter on that scoreboard. Bauman, if you're listening. And the Aggies are going to call a timeout.
Kind of talk this situation over here.
Hey,
I think.
Sorry, can we get a father-son sideline interview? Landon Crocker going into the senior. I think this will be fun.
Yeah.
Matt and Landon down on the field with a timeout. He wants to know what questions he's being asked, Matt. Yeah, we're ready. Let's throw it down the mat with Landon.
Okay, guys, I'm here with number 73, Landon Crocker. 3rd year starting, Landon Crocker. Just give us a little. I'm sorry. Forget the formalities. So, tell us about this offensive line unit. This is the one thing that we knew for a fact that was going to be one of our strengths this year. So, we had to change at quarterback. We knew we'd be strong in the receiving game, strong in the running game. Tell us about the offensive line.
Absolutely. I mean, as a veteran offensive line, we got to be that foundation. We have to be the foundation of the offense that everybody can rely on if they need us. And, I mean, we are the people that are protecting the quarterback. And so we need to make sure he's comfortable in what he's doing. And, yeah, we just need to get out there and play our best.
And like we talked, several years ago when you first started playing, we talked about the quarterback can have a good day, running back can have a really good day, putting up big yards, big catches. But you can't rely just on your strong side tackle to have a good game for the offensive line to be successful. You all have to know what each other's thinking, what the play scheme is. It's really you're the unsung heroes.
I mean, at the end of the day, we are just one unit. We're one player. We have to share the same heartbeat, go at the same speed, do everything in sync. We are the foundation of our offense.
For the record, this daddy is not okay with this being his senior season. Crocker boys out.
That was great. Good, phenomenal job, Matt. Thank you, Landon. We've never let Matt interview his son on the sideline, and I know Matt loves being down there with Landon there in some of those points at the game. The Aggie defense, thanks, Alex, for sticking with the action while Matt was Holly rowing us down there. Doing a great job as the Aggie defense gets off the field. You saw a bunch of Coleman Gardner in the game there. As I bet that was a little awkward interviewing your son like he's not your son. And then I appreciate Matt embracing it right there. Just like, hey, the formalities out the door. I'm just going to talk to him.
But I have to give props to Landon because of this. That young man speaks
so well,
fluidly and well. I mean, the tone of his voice, and it's just
future
it's
law.
solid.
He's going to law school, I hear.
So, and if that's the case, then he'll win the jury over. He'll win the judge over. Whatever he does, he's going to be a good one because it's just the way he speaks is second to none.
Peyton Hawkins in at quarterback for the Aggie offense. The first time the second team coming into the game. And it's like Blaze and Jagger going to come in on offense. And, we're still a 4A school. We're going to have a lot of guys going both ways, so it's good to see Blaze and a couple of these guys get some experience because they are going to end up playing some offense at the varsity level potentially this year. Hand off here to Ackles, who will play some JV for us this year. He's kind of the third team running back behind Tuck and Zakorian. And now you'll see the big wide receiver come in. We mentioned him earlier, Zakorian Pope. Yeah, you look at him. He's got the size. He stands out in the wide receiver room. We'll put on some muscle over the next few years.
And they got the matchup they want right now. They have Pope on somebody that's probably about 6 inches shorter than he is.
There's Ackles. And that's what I like about Ackles. Chooses not to run out of bounds and absolutely chooses to run through somebody's chest as he gets across midfield. Desmond Ackles will be a sophomore this year. Look at that. He said, I'm not going out of bounds.
Not going out of bounds. I'm not taking the right-hand turn. I'm going left and going straight and just run over somebody.
Good to see Peyton Hawkins get some reps for this group of Aggies. Fatula playing a little H-back. Give it off to Ackles again. Catches the edge. Great block by Pope. Sets the edge and another first down. Well, if you're a young wide receiver out there and you want to see how to get on the field, watch Decorian Pope on that play.
Jeremy, one thing I've noticed so far is, we've got a lot of older, got some seniors on our offensive line this year. But watching these guys right now, every play so far, they're blowing Calera off the line by at least 3 to 4 yards, and they're making their linebackers step up. So great job by this offensive line here on the JV team as far as making some things happen for the Aggies as well.
Yeah, Zach Riggins out there. Look at Zach Riggins. Still got Nichols out there. Jaquan Nunn. This number 60 for the Aggies. Ashton Oden got a little bigger in the offseason.
I wonder if 64 is actually, well, no, there's 65.
It's crazy to think that Eric Nichols will only be a junior next year. He has
That's
played
crazy.
just a ton of really good football for us. Look at Eccles again, dude. He is not going to turn down a hit. I was watching it closely. I think it was Monday. Running backs coach Tech Jones, they were working on QB protection. And the drill was one of the running backs would stand on the 40. The other one would stand here on the sideline. The one starting at the numbers got a 10-yard head start, and you just had to stand in there and take it. And Dylan Ackles just never turned down a hit, and he so far hasn't on this drive.
No, Dylan has done a great job.
Desmond Ackles.
Devin has done a great job as far as, just heads up running hard as he can.
And here's Pope making the catch, his first reception of the night. He's going to get an Aggie first down. Well, I talked to Coach Smelly about Pope earlier in the week, and has the potential to be a superstar in the making. He will be another player for Sylacauga that gets a lot of college scouts here, as we've seen this spring for a couple of these Aggies. We've had college coaches stopping by left and right. Charlotte, USF, UT Martin, UAB was here last Friday. That's just to name a few. I think Mercer has been by. I mean, we've seen some bigger schools pop by to look at some Aggies this week. Ackles again, busting up the middle. Ackles inside of the 5, spinning off a tackler. Let's see where they mark him down. They'll give him right on top of the 5-yard line. Jaquan Nunn playing center. Ackles again, touchdown Aggies. Well, that was impressive because I think he followed 55 right into the end zone, Eric Nichols. Let's watch the replay here on YouTube. Yeah, Bumgardner in there at left. Yeah, look at Eric Nichols. Jeez, he's got 2 guys driving him backwards on that play.
That's why I said what I said a while ago. I just got to watching that offensive line, and they're just blowing Calera, the Eagles off the line by 3 or 4 yards every time. And, it's really impressive to watch, even at this level here, because that's just what's coming up. So when you lose these seniors that we're going to lose, you're going to have good, capable guys stepping into their spots and to be able to play at that higher level.
Extra point up and good.
Tell you, Anderson I said it many times last year, and I'll probably say it a lot more, or at the first of this year, but I'll probably say it a lot more next year too. It's just, I can't get over how effortlessly he looks when kicking the football, and yet what kind of distance that young man can get on it. So it's amazing to me at how far he's come. in just a short time as far as kicking the football.
Is Matt down there with Juice?
Looks like it.
We got to get a Juice Riley interview.
He's stepping back over there.
No, Alex will stay on the action, but we'll get Matt in a second with Juice Riley. They'll turn, hand it off. Oh, it's blown up by Ja'Kai Toney. And now let's go down to Matt. He's with the fan favorite, Juice Riley.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Jeremy. Fan favorite, Juice Riley. But I'm going to tell you what. No matter the numbers that you see him put out here, the amount of yards on reception, amount of yards after reception, touchdowns, this is one of the most humble kids I've ran across in my life. He is a super kid, AB honor roll, just wonderful kid. We're glad to have you as part of the Aggie family. But I want you to tell the Aggie family that's listening out here what it means to be an Aggie.
It means something great. The city come out and support us, and I can show out for the team. The team can show out for the city. And you just do something that haven't been done a long time here.
That's right, and that's what I love about your attitude. It's about team. I mean, you know your stats. You know who all's coming to look for you, but it's about the team.
Yes, sir.
And that's why you're the fan favorite. That's why we love you. Appreciate it, Juice.
Appreciate you.
Matt Crocker with Juice Riley. I think we got to get a Juice Riley live commitment on the Aggie Sports Network because he's going somewhere big. We'll be looking forward to it. As
Right now, we got the Calera Eagles in a fourth and 8 situation. But during that interview, I'm glad Alex stayed on the plays because you guys got to see a hit by Jadarius Jackson for the Aggies that, oh my, he laid that Eagle out on the other sideline just fearlessly with a hit that was really as a varsity-size hit.
You got a punt right there that'll, I think, flip the field. I think they give him 35 yards on the punt, maybe, or they just can take it all the way to the 30. Really doesn't matter. The JV Aggies up 7-0 over Calera here in the third quarter. As the final quarter will be a quarter where we kind of empty the bench. A lot of the younger players that are moving up from Nichols Lawson will get a chance to play. Listen, they've worked hard all spring. Yeah. They deserve an opportunity to come out here and play as ninth graders. It shouldn't be too much of a change for them because they'll be playing other ninth graders only, I believe. Kind of like they did in middle school. We got to get Matt to ask the hard-hitting questions, though, down there. Like, Juice, where are you going to college? Right. I mean, Juice, how many yards do you think you can put up in a game? I mean, we need to get some of the good stuff. Matt's too modest.
I think right now he just wanted everybody to understand exactly what kind of young man Juice Riley is.
Juice is the best. And that was a great way to showcase Juice because Juice is just he's one of my favorite guys to talk to. Hawkins looking downfield. You got to get pass interference, don't you?
Got to get pass interference on that one. Oh, man.
Really?
Let them play. Let them play.
DeCorian Pope had a couple guys wrapping him up.
He couldn't get away from, jersey being pulled off of him. Couldn't get back to the ball. Nothing, but no flag.
I would say we could get Blaze to talk about his pick six, but he's been playing in this JV session, so Hawkins had a little miscommunication maybe. He goes down way behind the chains, and we don't want to get Blaze in trouble.
We'll wait till the second, actually the fourth quarter, and see if Blaze comes out for good, and if he does, Crocker got to get down there and get to him. I'd like to talk to Tyler Tarpley, too. I'd like to get Tyler on the radio. Kind of get some how he overcame the fumble, the drop, and then taking that ball in. Nice job by Hawkins.
Oh, big throw to Pope down the sideline. Almost came up with it.
Offensive pass incomplete. 4th down.
Looks like Matt's caught up with Tyler Tarpley now.
There you go. Take it away.
Down here.
Take it away, Matt.
All right, Tyler. One of the things that about you is you hit the ground running when you joined the Aggie varsity team. You came in as a freshman, made a name for yourself. I mean, people at home know TikTok. Had a little bit of start. Just want to know just what happened in your mind to overcome that, because you shut out the rest of the first half.
The ball was really made.
I think we lost Matt right there as he was interviewing Tyler. Yeah, it says audio disc.
Turn.
Am I on?
Back down to Matt. He's back with Tyler Tarpley.
Okay. I think where we left Tyler, he was talking about he had that one fumble, and that was the key to just completely change it. Got all the jitters out, I would say.
Yes, sir.
Got the hands strong again, and just showed out. So everybody missed what you were saying.
Yeah, but like I'm saying again, the fumbles really caused everything for me to get in my head. But really, my coaches are getting on to me, not really getting on, but just saying, hey, calm down, you got this. And after that, it was just me showing out like I try to do usually.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Make him into the man you're going to be. That's the coach's job. That's why I say this is the greatest game there is, because you put up points, you put up yards, but you also have a team to protect too. You have your other players to protect. Ball players make great bosses, make great members of society. So just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Matt with Tyler Tarpley. That man, dude, Tyler Tarpley, people don't realize, dude, he never comes off the field. He is an absolute warrior out there. Had a couple chances to get him on the Coach Smelly show last year. I was talking to his dad after the game. He was telling me I think they had like a play count on Tyler, and it was way up there one game. It's super impressive what Tyler is able to do. They'll look towards the end zone, and they'll score a touchdown with 26 seconds to go.
Carry pass complete to number 22. Touchdown Eagles.
I have been impressed with some of these play designs that Calera has in the playbook. Even the play prior, Brent, where they faked a wheel route, that guy was going to be a lead blocker for a guy in the flat. I mean, I can see why some of these guys got behind us, is all I'm saying, with a lot of the deception they're running.
Yeah, and that's true, and that's why I said that, when you face a team like this and you didn't practice to what they were going to bring you, stuff like that can be very confusing for, a defensive back, and just understanding exactly where you're supposed to be, when, who you pick up, when the cuts are made, who goes with who. But I'm very impressed with the offensive coordinator from Calera as far as some of the plays that he's put in, some of the designs and some of the looks that he's given us out of the same formation. It's been pretty nice to watch.
They did get the 2-point play. And so there's 22 seconds left here in the third, and then you'll see the ninth graders play that fourth quarter. Hawkins in at quarterback. I'm going to throw one up to Pope. We do have 3 timeouts left. 2. We'll take this to the third quarter. Good news is for the Aggies, a lot of these guys on here are ninth graders. Ninth graders, so
that is true.
Get another chance at it right here. So we'll flip sides of the field, and we'll be back. 8-7 your score. Calera on top in the second half.
Sycamore Federal Credit Union, your dreams matter. Whether it's buying a new car, purchasing land, or starting a business, Sycamore offers a variety of loan options to help you get there. With competitive rates, personalized service, and the convenience of mobile banking, Sycamore is committed to supporting your financial journey. Visit them at 18070 Alabama Highway 21 in Talladega or apply online at sycamorefcu.com. Sycamore Federal Credit Union. Let us cover your financial needs.
Feeling slowed down by pain or injury? At Star Physical Therapy in Sylacauga, we help you get back to the life you love faster. From sports injuries to chronic back or joint pain, our skilled, compassionate team creates personalized treatment plans just for you. Don't stay on the sidelines. Regain strength, mobility, and confidence with therapeutic exercises, manual therapy, and proven techniques. Call 256-249-4701 or visit starphysicaltherapy.net and start your journey to better health today.
Central to you, central to your success. Central Alabama Community College, the official video live streaming sponsor of the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network. Online at cacc.edu.
Hawkins gives it off on a second down, and here we go. Down the left sideline. The Aggies will take it all the way.
Kamari Nix with a great run for the Aggies.
Just a ninth grader, Kamari Nix. What a run. You know, when we were interviewing Coach Smelly, in the interview process, you know, one thing he told everybody was, you know, I was a college quarterback. I played for Coach Spurrier, but that doesn't mean I just want to throw the ball around the yard every play. He wants to have a physical football team. He wants to have a team that runs the football. Yes, he wants to get into the 30s every game because the statistics say that you win about 85% of the games when you score 30 in high school ball. But, man, there was an emphasis these last 2 years on just being more physical, and you can kind of see that from the top down. Just in this game alone, Brent, is just –
Neymar Hernandez with the point after.
Neymar, man, he's a great story. He's battled a lot in his life. Playing football this year as a kicker. Team loves him, and it's not just the special teams. The team loves Neymar. That's awesome to see. That's awesome.
That was a sight to see.
He gets to hang out with Anderson all the time at practice as the Aggies chase this one down in the backfield. There's big 99 Caleb Creighton making the tackle.
Caleb making a tackle there. Good job by Caleb. As we said, these young men are in the 9th grade right now. Caleb will be moving into the 10th. But it's promising to see, what is coming up for our Aggies in the next couple of years. Keelan Taylor, his helmet came off, so he had to come out. He was in on that tackle as well.
What a fun night at Legion Stadium.
Yep.
6A Calera coming in here. The throw left side incomplete. Still a lot of fans in the stands.
Yep.
Varsity wrapped up about 45 minutes ago.
That's the thing. A lot of these fans, a lot of parents out here wanting to see their young men play tonight, knowing these younger guys are going to get their chance out there. Calera brought a pretty nice crowd with them tonight. Something to do on a Friday night. Of course, I've got another 8U softball game tomorrow.
Man, I heard you.
1:15 in the afternoon.
I heard you lead the lead in strikeouts, Brent.
I do. It's the worst time to be a Cy Young applicant when you're with 8U softball.
Yeah, it's not great to lead the league in strikeouts when you're in coach pitch.
I tell you. But I tell you, it is a lot of fun just seeing those young ladies improve and get better as the year goes on. And then when they do something really good, the excitement you see, you just kind of wish that sometimes, your varsity sports, that the kids, the young men and young ladies playing that sport, has that same enthusiasm as they get older. I think that's something you lose because of that competition comes in, and, you put so much pressure on yourself that you quit having fun. But seeing these 8-year-olds, it's hilarious. I mean, it is hilarious.
That was Jackson Vick at quarterback, and now here's Caleb Gray.
Okay, Caleb in.
Number 18, running back. It'll be Owen Stone. Bulky kid, 2 receivers out to the right.
A little bit of a miscommunication with Dylan Harrell there. I think Dylan was wanting to go to the left, but the play was designed to go right.
Now Vic back in the game. DeMarco Davis, one of the receivers. The last Aggie sporting event of the year right here, the spring game against Calera.
No, a later crab. Jeez.
And Jeremy, as we spoke earlier during the game, a lot of success for the Aggie basketball program, all the way to the state final. A lot of success for the soccer teams. They both deep into the playoffs. And congratulations.
Just got confirmation that Fayetteville will play Appalachian. That was Appalachian and Hubertville in game 1 of that series, if I'm not mistaken, and went into the 13th inning. 13-11, Appalachian with the win. Fayetteville in the playoffs, in the state championship series, rather, on our Mix 106.5 on Wednesday, game 1. Jacob Bassett, David McCurley will have the call for you on that one. It's Calera breaking one down the sideline. Knock him out of bounds around the 15. How about what Fayetteville baseball's been doing, Brent? Actually, just very impressive. Coach Matt Collier and his crew.
Very impressive at what Coach Collier's been doing. And this team here is just, they were set up for success. And, they've had to play a lot of games up, as I would say, facing 5A, 6A teams, but that only made them better as far as when they did hit this stretch. You look at their overall record and you think, man, how are they doing so well? How are they getting into, the playoffs as far as the state finals? But it's all because the way those young men play together. And from what I've heard over the last, I think, 4 or 5 games that I've listened to, is they're hitting the ball well. They're doing basic fundamentals well. They're running the bases as far as they're being very smart when it comes to base running. They're not putting themselves in situations to where, that's an easy double up or something like that. They're taking that away from the opposite team. So right now, Fayetteville is at their peak to where, it's going to have to take a very good basic fundamental team to come out on top against Fayetteville right now, because that's definitely how they're playing, and they're definitely doing everything they're supposed to do in order to win the state title.
Eagles going to sneak into the end zone. Off a keep to the left.
Touchdown Eagles.
And that's one of the things these younger guys, they'll learn. We talked about this even with the varsity guys earlier tonight, was the fact that on that little play action, they kind of bite to the inside. It took all 3 of our linebackers and pulled them dead to the middle. Owen Stone was doing a really good job, but he just got caught up inside, so we lost outside containment. I'm not saying it was his fault at all. It's just the way it is. You're anxious. You want to make the tackle. You want to make the play, and you push yourself inside. And when you do, you lose that outside containment, and that allowed the Eagles to get in the end zone. But great job by the Aggies of keeping them from scoring too. So it keeps the score tied here with 5:56 left in this fourth quarter. Aggies and Eagles 14 all.
So a chance to, I guess, take the lead here in the final half of the fourth quarter. Or 5:56 to go on a nice night for football. Creeping down, 66 right now. Graduation, next Tuesday? I don't want to get that wrong. Next week, right here at Legion Stadium. Great group of kids graduating. A lot of, 33 pluses on the ACT too in this senior class. Incredible.
That is incredible. That is an awesome
Got
feat.
A National Merit Scholar in Casey Malone. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
I've been told by quite a few people that Casey Malone might be, he's like the smartest kid they've ever talked to. I mean, just a very, very, very smart, hard worker.
That's the thing. Some of these young men and young ladies, they have the smarts. They're able to learn it quick. Look at here. They're able to retain the knowledge and the information that they get, and be able to do well. But I'm going to tell you, I was not one of those.
Yeah, I was far away from being a National Merit Scholar.
I was not one of those.
That was DeRice on the carry. Almost broke away. Quarterback, Caleb Gray now. Quarterback through the hands is the snap. It's just crazy to think about the ACT with these kids, because getting a 25 when I was in high school was like a good thing.
Right.
Not that it's bad by any means, but the bar has been set so high lately on the ACT, and there's tons of kids coming through the Sylacauga City school system with that 30, 31 plus score. It's so impressive. Gray on the keeper looking for the edge, nothing there. I mean, if you walk into the hall across the street, the ACT Wall of Fame is pretty deep this year.
It's full of young men and women. It is great to see that. That's a testament to me personally too. That's a testament to the teachers, not only in the high school level, but in all levels from kindergarten all the way up through, because they've got to have a good core of teachers as they're taught all for every grade all the way up in order to prepare themselves for that.
DeRice pushed backwards. Class of 2026, Brent.
Wow.
Dude, how was the high school class of 2011? What year? What was your high school class?
87. I am.
How old are you?
I am 57. All right.
I'll tell you what. You act younger.
56. I'll be 57 in September when we kick the 26th season off.
Dead ball, delay a game against the Aggies.
Yeah, Yeah, when you think about it that way, I mean, you're like, oh, man,
87?
Yeah, 1987. Yep. Been many, many, many years ago. But I remember it like it was yesterday. Had a great time. Some of the stuff that I'm so glad we did not have social media back then. Some of the crazy things we did, we just have the memories of them. And who shared them with us?
Vic rolling out, throwing. Oh. Intercepted.
But that is how things have gone for Calera all night. It's the fact that the ball bounces out, it bounces right back to him, and on that play, our receiver makes a great effort back to the ball. That's Diesel Holdeman. And when he did, he kind of has to dive. And when he does, the ball hits him in the back and bounces right to the Calera Eagle.
It hit him in the back.
Yeah, and bounced right to the Eagle.
And Vic took a hit on that throw.
But, I mean, that's just the way things have gone for Calera tonight, from the varsity all the way down to, this game here. They've got that lucky break.
Yeah, the Aggies hadn't gotten too many bounces in this one, have they?
Great open field tackle there.
Yeah, Coleman Gardner teaming up with the quarterback, Caleb Gray, on the tackle.
Our long snapper.
And Coleman Gardner's going to be a heck of a linebacker for the Aggies if that's where he stays for the next 4 years.
Got to put a little bit of mass on him, but I think he'll be a great one.
Heck of a catcher in baseball, too. Push him back here. Clock rolling. I kind of like Calera, but still being competitive here.
Yep.
Tied at 14 here with a minute to play. Little QB keep. 2 yards short of the first down. Eagles with all 3 timeouts. They're trying to get these younger players used to running that 2-minute offense.
That's it. It's Dylan Pledger at quarterback now for the Eagles. Doing a really good job.
Giving it off and going nowhere. Lost a couple yards, and they'll call a timeout. It'll be 4th and 3 from the 43.
Come on, Kirby. Along with Jeremy Smith on the tackle. Great job by those two young men. On a timeout with 28 seconds left on the clock. And this is where you tell your safeties, go ahead and just go all the way back.
Be a 4th and 3. See what Calera chooses to do. Definitely don't want to give up a score, but they still have 2 timeouts remaining after this with 28 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Good news about tonight, Brent, is we didn't bring all that extra equipment with us, just a single camera setup, so we should be able to pack up and
get out of here in a hurry.
It's fun. It's still going to be about the same time we always get home from,
exactly.
from a Friday night at 7 o'clock game.
But hey, what a way to end the year out. Great spring game. Weather was beautiful today. Into the night, very cool.
Quarterback rolling, looking, catch made, and into the end
zone.
That was a heck of a throw. Rolling across his body.
What a throw. What a catch. It was a great catch by that young man out there. Caleb Savage, who made that great catch for the Eagles.
Want to thank our crew tonight, Matt Crocker, Alex Bauman, and, of course, you, Brent Ashley, up here. Appreciate everybody who's worked on the Aggie Sports Network all year. Michael Giddens, Alex Bauman covering soccer for us. We've had David McCurley fill in, I feel like 100 times for us this year. Had a ton of fun. Michael Adair helping us with some basketball games that Alex couldn't make it to a couple times. We're going to stuff them short on the 2-point try, so 17 seconds to go. I guess Michael Brandon did do a little bit of something this year on the Aggie Sports Network. Haven't seen him since football. One of our camera operators, Ava Rollins, Carly Thornton.
I tell you, the appreciation for everybody that has helped is true from the heart. Thank you.
I do want to thank again Coach Chad Wilkinson, Athletic Director, Principal Gary Rivers, Superintendent Dr. Eller, making our lives easy. I think they realized the amount of coverage Sylacauga Athletics gets, and really the other schools in our area that are covered on our sister networks, is really unmatched across the state. So Vic to lead the offense with 17 seconds and 2 timeouts. We'll hand it off, and I think the Aggie's going to let the clock go. Great night at Legion Stadium as the Aggies wrap up the spring game, and they will line it up and shake hands with the Calera Eagles. Coach Smelly to lead the line for the Aggies. We will see you in August as the Aggies open up the season at home here at Legion Stadium. From Jeremy Law, Brent Ashley, Matt Crocker, and Alex Bauman, this has been a product of Radio Alabama and Sylacauga